Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank y'all for jumping on. I appreciate it. This is the Blank Spot. We are Sublimation Blanks and Supply Warehouse. We're located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And guys, I've invited you to hang out with me today as I make a marketing hoodie. So, if you didn't know, these are our brand colors. These are our brand colors, which just happens to have our website on it. So, if you're actually interested in looking for something sublimation wise, screen print transfers, DTF, HTV, sublimation items back there, shirts, hoodies, drinkware, stuff like that. If you're looking for anything like that, you can go definitely check us out at theblankspot.com. You can find us on all social medias that we're on right now. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. So these are our brand colors, and I'm going to do a marketing hoodie. Now, what does the marketing hoodie consist of? I'm going to tell y'all in a minute, but I came up with this idea because I'm trying to push our hoodies. It's hoodie season, but the hoodies are not moving for some reason. I don't know if it's because people are not doing sublimation, because people don't understand sublimation, or people are afraid of sublimation. Maybe it's because they feel like they don't have a heat press that's big enough to handle what they need to handle. Well, I'm going to show you how I'm going to create this marketing hoodie for our brand to market our business and do it on a 15 by 15 heat press. And I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of people are doing 15 by 15s, using 15 by 15 heat presses. I'm not used to using 15 by 15 unless we're going out on our vending events, but y'all are wearing me out. I'm telling you, y'all wearing me out because I gotta be able to, I gotta be relatable, okay? I gotta be relatable. Everybody doesn't have the 16 by 20 or the 16 by 24. Everybody doesn't have the larger heat press, the larger all over. So I'm doing it on something that is going to kind of, associate or resonate with you. So let's go ahead and get started. Just so you know in the beginning, if you do have a smaller heat press, and you need to press a larger item, you can always go to a hardware store and purchase a Euca board. Euca board, EUCA. It is short for eucalyptus. Okay, you can find a Euca board at a hardware store. You can have them cut down the size that you need. For those of you wondering off the bat, well, what size do I need? Well, you got to ask yourself, what type of heat press do you have? Is it stationary, clamshell? If it pulls out, it really doesn't matter. But you're going to be limited to how far you can go in. So this is a 15 by 15. I would recommend that you get at least an 18 by 24. Okay, so 18 in, I guess, width. No, 18 in guess length, and then 24 in width. That would help you out, and that would actually help to expand your pressing radius. Okay, that's a Euca board. Princess Diamond, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. So, if you are just jumping on, y'all know the routine. If you've been here before, I just ask that you drop your city and state to let us know where you guys are tuning in from. That allows us to know kind of where our reach is, how we're reaching people. Also, double tap if you're on TikTok, like if you're on Facebook and YouTube, and also share on all platforms. If you're on Instagram, definitely like it and share it as well. And that's going to help us to get out to more people. That's the support that we get, and that's how you support us. That's how you support us when you're on our social medias and you're actually on here. Tantalizing T, Alexandria, Louisiana. We're from Baton Rouge. Thanks for jumping on. We got Miss Fleming. How you doing? Out of Sticklerville. I always get messed up saying that, New Jersey. And Miss Ann, how are you? Thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. Out of Arkansas. And we got a couple of people that's sharing their cities and states. I promise you guys, I'm not going to come try to find y'all. So y'all are safe with me. Stafford, Virginia. Henrico, I guess, Virginia. I don't want to mess that up. New Orleans. Okay, that's what's up. I'm from Baton Rouge. Savannah. Richmond, Virginia. Fairfield, California. Thank y'all. Lake Charles. We got a lot of Louisiana people coming on here. That's my home state. So appreciate y'all for jumping on. So what you're going to see right here is you see a 15 by 15 heat press. And somebody's going to ask, they're going to jump on, they're going to say, hey, well, how do you do this and how do you do that? Hey, Pandora, how you doing? This is somewhat of a tutorial. This is somewhat of a demonstration. However, you will be able to see the live video either on our YouTube or our Facebook. So you can always go back and ask, or go back and look at the video and see how things are going, okay? So some of the supplies that you're gonna need. Of course, you're gonna need a heat press. I recommend you have a clamshell, something that you can pull down and lock in. Hey, Ernie, what's going on? That's my recommendation to you, okay? Can you do it with the easy press? Yes, I don't recommend it, okay? Also, a 100% polyester hoodie. A 100% polyester hoodie. Can I get a 50% polyester hoodie? Yes, you can, but I don't recommend it. Okay, we're going to be putting a lot of sublimation ink on here, and sublimation loves polyester. The higher the polyester count, the better the results are going to be. So if you can't find 100%, but you can find 80, get it. If you can't find 100%, but you can find 65, just know that it's not going to be as vibrant. The higher the count, the better. You're also going to need and you can find these hoodies on our website. So if you don't know how to get to our website, the website is theblanksspot.com. Make sure you put 2 S's in there, theblanksspot.com. If you're on Facebook and or YouTube, you will see everything in the description. Wicked, thanks for jumping on. I see you look like you're on Instagram and YouTube. That's what's up. So you can find the link in the descriptions on Facebook and YouTube. And then if you're on TikTok, our website is in our link tree in our bio, okay? And all you got to do once you get there is you go ahead and search hoodies, and you'll be able to find it. Now, you're going to need a lint roller. You're going to need a lint roller. Why? Because there's going to be tons of lint on this polyester. It's like a magnet. It attracts lint, okay? The reason you want to roll the lint off of it, or as much as you can off of the fabric, which we're going to call this a substrate, because that's what it is. You want to lint roll your substrate, because if you don't, once that sublimation ink hits that substrate, then and lint's on there, you're going to see all these little specks on there, and you don't want that, okay? You don't want those specks, okay? Devon, Grand Rising, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you. She say, I'm silently watching at work. I'm not going to tell if you don't tell. Thank you, though. I appreciate the support. So we're going to lint roll this. You're also going to need, if you're new to this, you're going to need some heat tape. For this project, we're going to be using heat tape. You need heat tape, which you can find that on our website as well, along with this tape dispenser. Not in this color, but they are available. And then, let's see what else we're going to need. We're going to need some transfers. We're going to need our sublimation transfers. And I'm going to share with you really quickly what we have, what we're working with today as far as our sublimation transfers. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a marketing hoodie. So this is a QR code. Of course, everybody should know that. But if you see the little tree on there, this is our link tree QR code. That means that you can catch our website here, and you can catch our 4 social media handles. So when we put this on our hoodie, then I could be walking down the street and somebody can see that I also have this on the back of our hoodie, right? And then they can know that they can get to us. So you can also catch our website here as well. So also, we're going to be putting a pocket logo. This is our pocket logo. And I don't know if you guys can see that R. I talk about it because we're proud of it. We are registered. Our trademark, our logo is trademarked, and we are registered. So you can look us up at the USPTO. We are registered, so nobody can use this name without getting in trouble. We find out, we're going to slap that cease and desist on them, right? We're going to slap that cease and desist on them if we find out. And then we got our brand colors. These are our brand colors. And we created our brand colors in Canva. My wife did that. She did a brief class on that, so you can go back and look either on YouTube, I believe, yes, on YouTube, and possibly on TikTok. Not sure about Facebook because this is a new Facebook page. But these are our brand colors in a swirl, okay? We just created this in a swirl, okay? These are our brand colors in a swirl. So that's what we're working with, all right? So let me put this to the side. And this may be a pretty lengthy video. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hold up for for the time of the video, but it's gonna be a lengthy video. Now I don't have a lot of room to work with because I traded off the space to work with so you guys can see. And I believe once again, Instagram probably has the best view. You are right here. Following up next by Facebook and Facebook and YouTube, you probably have a pretty good view as well. And then TikTok, I did move you because I had you guys in timeout. I had TikTok in timeout for a minute, and I wasn't giving y'all pretty good views because I want y'all to go to Facebook and YouTube and also Instagram. So I had y'all on timeout, but I thought today would be a good day to let y'all see what we got going on. All right. So I'm gonna be pressing the hood. I'm gonna turn the hood inside out, and I'm gonna press the hood. I am going to put a pocket logo, a chest pocket logo, on here. I am going to do the front pocket, and then the other items are going to go on the back. So I'm going to press this probably about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So it may take a little while, especially because I'm actually explaining as I go, and also it's going to take a little while to tape off that pocket. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tape off the pocket because that takes the longest part. So I'm going to tape this pocket off, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain this to you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put tape along the outside, okay? I'm going to put tape along the outside of the pocket so I don't get a bleed over, all right? So that's going to take a little while. So if I have to adjust my camera, and I will look and see to make sure y'all can see what's going on as much as you can see without being in the warehouse. If I have to adjust my camera, I will, so y'all can see. But these hoodies are available on our website at theblankspot.com, okay? So this is an opportunity for us to market our business right now and also sell our products. So for those of you who have money, this is time to buy. How much for? Okay, so this is what I need you to do. I need you to email us, all right? If you found us on TikTok, you can go to our social media link, and you can email us with that question. We don't answer questions like that on live because that's more of a business type, question. So let's do that. That's if you're serious, all right? So, what was I saying? I lost my thought process. Yes, I am selling. For those of you who don't know, this is a sales tactic, all right? This is a sales tactic. Please don't take offense to me wanting to pay my light bill and buy some food for my family, but this is a sales tactic, and don't be offended if I don't answer all your questions because I'm advertising and marketing the hoodies right now. So that's what we're advertising and marketing. So I'm gonna let y'all see what I did. Can y'all see that lint on there? This was a clean roller, and that's the lint that came off of that hoodie. A lot of times we make mistakes by not lint rolling first, and we wonder why we get all those blue specks. So I'm gonna roll it again, all right? I'm gonna roll again. The QR code I made that on Linktree. If you don't have a Linktree account, I recommend you go and get a Linktree account. It is free. You can put a lot of links on there, and what it does, it links all of our social media, all of our website addresses, all of our it can link everything, okay? If there's a link, a URL where you can actually hit the internet, that's going to help people to be able to stay in touch with you, all right? It's a great idea to market your business. That way, people can see what you have for sale, or if they want to follow you on social media, they can do that as well, okay? So right now, I am taping off my hoodie. And this one is mine. So I'm going to go a little fast. But when you see me doing my wife's hoodie, or anybody else's that's paying, I do take my time. I don't know, man. I was telling my wife today that the fact that we've been able to grow our social media presence on Facebook, it's kind of breathed a little more life back into me, and kind of it's making me want to get back on live and do some marketing. When I was kind of wrapped up trying to build our TikTok platform, it was very, I don't want to say stressful, but it was mentally draining. It was mentally draining. But, when I started focusing on the platforms that was actually getting us like real customers, the YouTube, which we're monetized on YouTube, and we're working on getting monetized on Facebook, but we've been getting a lot of customers. When I started working on that, it kind of, it brought me back to a place to where I don't mind going live now. At one point, I got to the point to where I just got so tired of going live because there was no results. I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. We were attracting a lot of people, but nobody was pulling the trigger. And I'm just talking to y'all right now while I'm doing this. Nobody was actually purchasing like they probably should have been on TikTok. And then when TikTok came through with the TikTok shop, that made it worse. So I kind of got to the point to where I just didn't want to do lives at all. I didn't want to talk about anything at all. And now that we have I got a new outlook because I'm focusing now on Facebook and Instagram. I've always focused on our YouTube, but I'm focusing now on our Facebook and our Instagram. And I got a different outlook on it right now. So you will see us on TikTok, but not as much. I'm not salty or anything. I mean, I'm thankful for the people who are following us on TikTok. However, that's not our main focus. As a matter of fact, the only reason we're on social media is to share our products and to sell. I need y'all to understand that. Business owners, smaller business owners are getting on here and they're wanting to promote and share their products. So if you happen to see somebody doing something, and this is the part where I become the truth teller, if you happen to see somebody doing something, I hear crafters all the time say, hey, I just love what I do. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. The person that loves what they do, if they're still doing it to get paid, it's still an issue. They need to get paid. So I don't see a lot of people on here nowadays doing this because they love it and doing it for free. There's a method to the madness, okay? And not to take anything out of it, deflate anybody's dreams, hopes, and dreams of finding somebody who's going to teach them or share things with them for free. However, once again, when I get on here, these are not tutorials. Who we got? Hey, Deborah, how you doing? These are not tutorials to show you how to do it. These are demonstrations and tutorials to show you what you can do with our products and the fact of how they actually sublimate. We have some great products, okay? We got great products. So I'm going to place our swirl, our brand swirl, on our pocket, okay? And for some of you guys that have seen this already, we do have a tutorial on how to do this. It is on courses.theblankspot.com. Courses.theblankspot.com. I'm going to type that into Facebook. Actually, you know what? I am not going to type that into Facebook. I'm going to share a link later on to where you guys can get that because I want your information. But anyway, we do have a tutorial, and we're going to be starting off with $2 tutorials. That means that if we share something, it's not necessarily going to be free, but it's going to cost you about $2. And that with that $2 tutorial, you will have access to that item, to that class or that tutorial for 30 days. What do y'all think about that? Having access to a $2 tutorial for 30 days. What are y'all thoughts? Would y'all pay $2 for a tutorial that you have access to for 30 days? Yep. That's it. So that's what we're looking at. And we already started. Did a little test. Did a little test bed. Just to see how it was going to be. And, you know, just want to make sure we give you value. Because we know people are strapped for cash. We know that some people are strapped for cash. Ultimately, I'm a firm believer that people will buy what they find that's valuable. People will spend their money on what they want to spend their money on. And I'm not here to count your pockets at all. That's not why I'm here. I'm here to sell my products. But if by me doing tutorials can help you to make a decision whether you want to make a purchase or not, and if you can walk away learning a few things, I think it's a win-win, you know? I think it's a win-win. Now, the tutorials are not going to be for everybody because, you know, not everybody's going to need that type of help or want to do that type of project, and that's cool. The tutorials are going to mainly be for people who are new and for people who are looking to do the projects that the tutorial is about, okay? Everybody has their own way of doing things. Me, myself, I like numbers and I like angles. I always have like numbers. I've always been pretty good with math. And here's a tip for anybody who's out there listening. If you're new to crafting and you find yourself having problems crafting, I want you to go back and brush up on your angles. Brush up on your angles. Because crafting is about angles. It's about geometry. It's about math. And once you understand that, I believe, in my opinion, that you can and will be successful. You don't have to have knowledge of calculus or trigonometry. Unless you're teaching it, to me, that's just a waste of space in your brain. But if you can understand angles, a lot of these things you can do with no issues. So don't overthink the process. All it is math, man. That's all it is. So if you cannot see what I'm doing, I basically just quickly cut out a shape of the pocket. That's all I did. I'm taping this down so it doesn't shift on me when I put it under the heat press. I am going to use some type of pressing pad. I believe I am. Yeah, probably. And I cut it to where the transfer is actually touching the tape. So it's not going to bleed to the rest of the hoodie. That's what I'm doing, okay? That's what I'm doing. So I've adjusted. Everybody should have a pretty good angle. And I'm going to get my pressing pad. Another idea, guys, is you have to understand the importance of protecting your fabric, okay? This is a hoodie. This is a polyester hoodie. So any dye, ink dye transfer will be in that hoodie. So you're not gonna just take something and wash it out. Once it's in there, it's in there. This pressing pad that I've used several times, I'm gonna keep on using it. It it has ink on it. But if I were to put this directly on that, if I were to directly put it on that that hoodie or that substrate, it will go into that hoodie. So I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this this pressing pad, and I'm gonna take this butcher paper and put it on top. I think I got a bigger piece of butcher paper. Yeah, I do. I do not recommend using Teflon for this, because Teflon, you have to keep cleaning it, and eventually what's going to happen is it's going to stain and it's not going to come out. Have you demonstrated a heat press cotton hoodie using screen print transfers? No, I have not. But I'm going to tell you something. And I want you to think about it. Don't overthink the process. Doing a shirt or a hoodie or a crew neck is going to be pretty much the same concept. So don't overthink the process. If you've done a shirt, the hoodie ain't going to be a problem. It's just going to be about placement. Grand Rising, John. Thanks for jumping on. One last thing. I'm going to get some more butcher paper to go over the hoodie. So now remember, we're using the blank spot sublimation paper and the blank spot sublimation ink. When you see me put this, when you see me place this butcher paper over this transfer, I'm not placing it over the transfer. I'm actually placing it over the hoodie, so there's no transfer coming to the top. Okay, my paper doesn't bleed, so you don't have to worry about that. All right, I'm gonna adjust this. Our paper doesn't bleed, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you're using paper, if you're currently using paper right now where you have to do this every time, that means you don't have a good paper. You really don't need that much pressure, but I was doing, I think I was doing chenille patches, and I was doing screen print transfers, so that's why I got a lot of pressure. Great idea. $2 is awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good deal. I think it's a good deal. Creations Kingdom, thanks for jumping on. Yeah, so there's no need to overthink the process. So right now I got my temperature set to 385 degrees, and I'm pressing it for 55 seconds. Now our paper you can use our paper and press at a lower temperature and a shorter time. And it actually saves you a lot, because a lot of times we have this thing turned up so high, it will burn your substrate. And you ride it up. You don't let it jerk up. You ride it up. Okay? Now this is a 15 by 15, but this is a bigger hoodie. So I'm pretty sure I got everything. If I didn't, don't worry about it, because this is not a tutorial to show you how to do this. This is just me showing you that I'm making a marketing hoodie. Okay? So you may get a couple of dots here and there of transfer. Sometimes it happens, okay? But I want y'all to see something. This was the original image. Look at that transfer. This was the original image. Look at that transfer. No ink left. If you're using paper that still has your transfer on it, once again, it's a subpar paper. All right? I don't have to go into detail about that as far as, papers and transfers and all that stuff. But if you're experiencing that and you want to experience something different, check us out here at the Blank Spot. All right? So I did get a little bit of transfer, not on the back. I got a couple of dots right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I got a couple of specks of blue on there. But it's okay. It's my hoodie. Ain't that big of a deal, okay? If you are a crafter and it has to be perfect, then you may not want to do this. I'm just being honest, because a lot of times it won't work out like you think it's going to work out. I'm just being honest. All right, the next thing I'm going to do that's going to take a little bit of time is I'm going to do the hood now. All right? So as I do the hood, I'm turning it inside out completely. I'm turning it completely inside out. Now, for the inside of the hood, I'm not worried about doing lint roller. I don't care about that. But I am going to be concerned about how flat my hood is. This is a stained hoodie. So I already know my hoodie was stained. So my hoodie's stained, and this is why I chose to use this. Anything that's stained to the point to where we can't sell it or even give a discount on it, I just use them. I use them for myself, and if I can't use it for myself or for my wife, I actually just do demos on it. Now, it's always a good idea to keep alcohol wipes. Always a good idea to keep alcohol wipes. You can get these from pretty much any, I want to say like a supply store, like paper supply store. But these are alcohol wipes, 75% alcohol. And I use these a lot. Sometimes there's like little stains that will come out, okay? Sometimes there's stains that will come out. But if you're the type of personality that's saying, hey, it has got to be perfect, then you may want to work on your thought process before you keep on crafting, because a lot of your items are not going to make it out of the house. I'm just saying. Just saying. Now I'm working with a small work area because I got my cameras up here. I wish y'all can see, man. I got 3 cameras, I got an iPad, an iPhone, and my MacBook sitting right here. So my space is limited. So if it takes me a little while, or if you look down and you see me doing something, that's why. If y'all got any questions and I can answer them, I definitely will. I'm not going to deny you an answer to a question. I would love it. Hey, engage with us. Engage with us. So I turned the hoodie inside out, okay? There's a method to the madness. The method is really to have a fabric ruler. You want to have a fabric ruler. Even though I know just about what the measurements are, you want to measure this. Now, here's the issue with a lot of people. You don't know how to use a ruler. And that's nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed about. But if you don't know how to use a ruler, you got to learn how to use the ruler. And you have to learn how to measure these things. Remember, like I said, crafting is math. It's math and some science. So you have to be well aware of that. I know what I want to sublimate, so I'm going to measure the widest part. Take that off. The widest part of this hood. The widest part of this hood. And the widest part is approximately 11.5. So my transfer is probably going to be about 11.75. Never, ever, 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 ever measure exactly. Okay? You never want to measure exact. Because if you measure exact, you're going to end up coming up short. So now, what I want to know right now, I'll take a little pause. I'm going to do a little advertising, but I'm going to take a little pause. But I'm going to ask you guys a question. If you are here for the first time, type a number 1 in the comments. If you're here for the first time, type a number 1 in the comments. Just trying to see. Trying to see something, y'all. Got a number 1. Okay. Couple of number 1s. Anybody on Instagram? Facebook or YouTube? Got a couple number 1s on TikTok. Probably more, but I'm not here to call you guys out. So far, are you getting some value? Because I know the return customers or the return followers are always getting value. Or most of the time anyway. But if you're number 1, are you getting value? Y for yes, N for no. Alrighty. So the question is, if you are getting value, and this is for everybody now. Number 1, have you tried this before? Y for yes, N for no. And the next question is, would you try this? Have you tried this? And would you try this? If you had a tutorial for $1.99, big bucks, no whammies, right? Would you try it? Because there's a tutorial right now that's available for $1.99. So I don't know if my wife is on any of these platforms, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait on her, if she is here, because there's a special link that I want to share with you guys. I've been sharing it recklessly before, but there's a special link that I want to share with y'all to show you how you can get access to that tutorial. And if you don't, if you haven't gotten access to the tutorial and you want to get it, it's $1.99. That is going back to us to give us the ability to keep on making this content. Because if you think about it, Steve, if I get, we don't have to be greedy, right? We don't have to be greedy. If we can get 100 customers to invest $2 with us, that gives me the will and the drive to make many more tutorials. Someone says I did it. I did one of these hoodies, came out perfect. That's good. Congratulations. So the link was just shared on TikTok, and I pinned the link. All right, I'm gonna type the same link into, let's see, HTTPS /bit.ly/free TBS TUTORIAL. Let me see. TUTORIAL. Okay, so now what I'm sharing with you now is a free link. This is a free link to our tutorial. Okay, that's a link that's going to show you how to actually position your transfer on your shirt. That's what that link is. Once you're in there and you register and everything, you'll be able to purchase the other one for $1.99. Y'all give me a second. I'm sharing it with Instagram right now. Y'all notice how people get quiet when they concentrate? I'm not left-handed either. Okay, so we simply created a bit.ly link, and it's bit.ly/free tutorial. Once you get that free tutorial, right? Once you get that free tutorial, what's going on, Miguel? Once you get that free tutorial, you will now be able to go and get that tutorial for this for just $1.99, man. And we're gonna have more like that, okay? And check it out. Check it out. See what you see. All right. So now, I'm a little different than some people. I process differently. I see things differently. You know, all that good stuff. Make sure I got my stuff together. Now, if you have to, you may have to take this hoodie. You may have to take the top of the hoodie and you may have to press it flat first. So if you got any wrinkles in here, something that's going to overlap, you might want to go ahead and press it flat. All I did just now was I took the transfer and I just laid it on here. I laid it on the hood. And I'm just looking at it right now to make sure it's touching everything, okay? That's all I'm doing. That's it. That's all. Cut some of this excess off. And And you need to leave some excess on because I'm going to tape this down. I'm going to tape this down to the transfer. All right. Once again, I don't believe this is hard. I think it's tedious and it can be time consuming. Can I get some people to share this video? Please and thank you. Can I get y'all to share, please? Appreciate y'all in advance. Once again, these hoodies are available on our website at theblankspot.com. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, the link is in the description. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, you can go to the link in our profile and you can find our website. Once you're there, you can search hoodies. It's funny, man. We have a whole warehouse, but I always find myself when I'm doing this, I always find myself running out of space. Taking questions right now. Questions. If you got any questions, now's the time. So I got the hood open, the inside of the hood open, and I'm actually using that part to tape it down instead of trying to tape on the outside. To me, it just made more sense. Now, if you are a tape hoarder, meaning you don't like to use tape, you don't want to do this because it's going to have to be stationary. So I'm going to flip this over. And I did this part in the tutorial as well. To me, once again, it was a lot easier. Instead of me trying to cut around the seam of this, because you can't see the seam, right? Instead of me trying to cut around the seam, all I did was use my fingers, and I just kind of went around the edge. And I flipped the image back, because at some point it is somewhat straight. So I flipped the image back. And I put a crease in it. Okay? And then I just walked it around and kept on doing it until I had a line to cut. Once again, don't overthink it. It's angles, it's math, right? Something I remembered in school, the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. And if we could remember some of the things that we were taught in school or shared with us in school, crafting would be so much easier. This is excess. I don't need this. I can still reuse some of it, but this is excess, so we don't need this. Thank you for the donation, Steve. I appreciate it. I'm going to have to send you something else, man, next week. You get a little time. I'm going to send you some other things to try out. Steve, you always donate, man. I appreciate it. And it's okay to cut outside of the crease that you made. It's recommended that you cut outside of the crease that you made. Because if you cut it too short, then you're going to be in trouble. All right? Now remember, this is the inside of the hood, so nobody's going to see all the way down here. But once again, I'm like you. I'm like a lot of you guys. I'm a little anal retentive as well. But I want everybody to remember that crafting is an art. It is not perfection, okay? It does go a long way, man. I appreciate it. Keeps me wanting to come back. I mean, I have to come back anyway because it's our business, but to know that, you know, it's been helpful. and we're getting somewhat reciprocated, that's cool too. All right, so once I'm comfortable with the design or the cut, I'm gonna tape again. This time, I'm taping to the fabric. I have nothing to help me. So when I transport this to the heat press, I need to be really careful because I don't want this to move a lot. Once again, it don't matter. Really don't matter because it's on the inside. It's on the inside. Lady T's and more, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on. If y'all haven't done so, do me a favor, drop that city and state. Let everyone else know where you're tuning in from. You never know. You may have an ally in another state nearby. Okay? Now, I can use the same sublimation paper. That's fine. I'm going to lay this down just like it is right here. I'm going to transport it from here to the press and try to do it without moving anything. So I'm going to pick it up like a little baby, right? Swing it around. Remember, I have my pad on here. That should give me some extra pressure. That should give me some extra leverage. All right? And before I just press it, remember, we're working with a 15 by 15. Now, I don't have to do that. I'm doing it to help you out so you all can see that it is possible. Okay? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I'm letting you see that it's possible to do these projects on a 15 by 15. Now, remember, I have the pad on here. That's going to give me extra leverage. If I need to adjust this, I'm going to adjust it. I don't want all this on here because if I have all of this hoodie on here, it's going to give me an issue when I go to press it. This is the edge of my press. You want to always make sure that you know where the edge of your press is because the last thing you want to do is end up pressing a project twice when you only had to press it once. Now, remember, it's about 11.5 in length. And then I didn't tell you this, but I should have. It's about 14 inches in width. So there is a possibility that you can miss this because you didn't press the whole thing one time. So I'm just walking it up here, making sure that I got everything on this pad. And if I have to adjust this pad, I will. If you need a bigger pad, cut yourself a bigger pad. I cheat a lot. I use a lot of stuff for the same thing. Doesn't matter to me. Once again, remember, this is not a tutorial to show you how to do it. We already created one. This is to show you that it can be done. I'm missing a little bit, so I'm going to adjust. Did you see what I just did? I didn't pull it down to press. I pulled it down to see where my press was hitting. I should be good. If not, you get the picture. If not, you get the picture. You like it over here? Yeah, it's clean over here. It's a nice direct view. Questions or comments about what we're doing? If you guys are just jumping on, what we're doing is we're creating a marketing hoodie. I'm creating a marketing hoodie using the blank spot sublimation hoodies, the blank spot sublimation paper, our heat tape, our ink, our heat press. We sell everything that you see, we're selling. Okay, everything that you see, we actually sell. So if you're new to crafting, if you're brand new and you're wondering where to get started, it's a great place. If you have questions outside of here, we recently created a service called Pick My Brain. Yeah, just like that. Pick My Brain. You can go to our website, theblankspot.com. You can hit our academy, and you'll see it right there. You can schedule a time to do a one-on-one with us, okay? I always do that. Well, I'm going to hit it one more time because I don't like that. It's nothing major. But when I taped it, sometimes the tape rolls. It really ain't that serious. Like I said, I'm anal retentive. There's not even any ink on there to hit it. But anyway. And if I want to take my small, press, I can always go back and take my small press and hit that spot. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. Once again, that's the ink release. There's a little bit of ink around the sides, but that had all ink. So if your paper is not giving you those results, you might want to take that paper, throw it in the garbage can. So what I was talking about was right here along the rim, the tape. So I got to be careful where I tape, and it did fold a little bit right there. No big deal, but I was talking about right there on the edge. Not a big deal though. All in all, came out pretty clean. All in all, came out pretty clean. All right. So I'm not using this again. I'm not going to recycle this, y'all. A lot of people mess up an entire project because they're being cheap. There's nothing wrong with saving money. But when you start finding yourself being cheap and you're doing things within your character, you can't do that when you're doing crafting. So I've done it before. I've messed up some projects because I wanted to recycle the paper, man. If you don't have the projects, if you don't have the supplies, if you don't have the supplies to do it, then, just don't do it. If you don't have the supplies to do it, then just don't do it. Okay, so y'all remember what I did? I didn't show y'all before, but I'm going to turn my cameras down so y'all can see what I did in positioning the hood, okay? What I did, is this the one? Did the other one fall? So I know I got another one. I'll find it later. I don't think this is the one. Zip, zip, zip. Had 3 strips. And I'm not trying to use another one. Okay, yeah, so this is the one. All right. So what I did was, because I forgot I used the other one on the pocket. What I did was, I just took this, no biggie. I laid this flat. I took my hood, and laid it on top. That's it. No rocket science, right? Nothing special about that. Y'all think y'all can do this? You can lay that hood right on top, can't you? And if you're pressed for space, just kind of maneuver to where you get it to lay down flat. All right? Just remember, it has to lay down flat. Like I'm struggling right now though. Has to lay down flat, and you want to make sure that it lays on the transfer. Okay? So it's not time to be cutting short and trying to save. You want to make sure you got more than enough. I know a lot of people make mistakes as well. Once again, making mistakes being cheap, trying to save. Less is more. So if you're finding yourself saying, hey, I'm just going to save some paper, and you end up cutting it short, and you say, well, I'm just going to try to make it work, and lo and behold, it doesn't work, don't be surprised, because it ain't supposed to. What kind of paper is that? This is the Blank Spot Sublimation Paper. You can find our paper on our website, the Blank Spot Sublimation Paper, okay? Oh, that paper is butcher paper. Sorry, I missed it. Somebody answered it. You had a problem with the cut? It looks pretty good, thanks. So what's your problem with the cut? If you have a problem with your cut, 9 times out of 10, you have a problem with your measuring. So my question to you all who have an issue, how many times do you all measure? You want to measure at least 3 times. I don't care how good you are. You want to measure at least 3 times. Because if you only measure once, I promise you're going to end up cutting twice or doing it twice. Do we have Christmas hoodies? Yeah, so we do have transfers for the Christmas hoodies. We have transfers for the Christmas hoodies. And if you go to our website, theblankspot.com, you look at the sublimation patterns, and you'll see some of the lumberjack patterns that we have that you can use this for. As a matter of fact, when you buy the tutorial, you'll see some of the resources that we have, and those patterns will be on there. If this does not float your boat, we also have some chenille patches for Christmas. We have some single color screen print transfers for Christmas. And we also have some full color screen print transfers for Christmas. I have the hardest time with the white sublimation hoodies. They bleed so much when pressing. So are they ours? I just got to ask that question, Princess. Where are you getting them from? And I'm just cutting a little bit of the excess off, y'all. I'm flipping this over, and I'm going to go across that line again. Remember, there's a seam right here. And I want to follow that seam because that's what I'm going to cut, right? Taking your fingernail, that will help too. I don't know if y'all can see what I just did, but I took my fingernail along that seam. Now I don't want to use that as a line to cut because I would end up cutting short. But that's an idea. I cut it away so I can see. So, yeah, and that's why I was going, Princess. So, substrates do matter. And a lot of times, and this is not a knock on anybody. A lot of times we buy products, we buy substrates that the vendor claims that they're good for sublimation, and you end up having problems, like you said, with bleeding. Usually, a substrate, a piece of fabric, usually, in my experience, a substrate that's bleeding, that means it could be a low quality of polyester. It could be a thinner, because we had thinner hoodies at one time, and we had to watch it. They sublimated well, but we had to watch those thin hoodies because they did have the propensity to bleed. If the fabric is thin, there is a likelihood that it will bleed through. Also, Princess, my next question to you as well is what type of paper were you using? Because I know a couple of bleeding papers out there. And they won't tell you that in the beginning because they are popular papers. So paper can cause your project to bleed as well. Did y'all know that? The wrong sublimation paper can actually cause your project to bleed. That's why we're so adamant about you guys try our paper out. Nah, it wasn't the paper then. It was the substrate. She said I only use honestly speaking. So yeah, it wasn't the paper. It was the substrate. Yeah, cause Shaquille paper ain't she got some great paper too. But you gotta know. So you troubleshooting. So you know it wasn't your paper. It was either your temperature, which I'm sure you didn't use a bad temperature. Your time, which I'm sure you didn't do that. So the only thing left is your substrate. Now my job is to make sure I only press this one time. One hit a quitter. That's all I need. Hey, what the heck? I'm going in. Clean up my mess. Hope y'all getting some value out of this. I hope you guys having a great day. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Just know that I have gotten some new life in me, y'all. I got some new life in me, y'all, and I'm really excited about what's coming up. So you're gonna be seeing me a lot more doing stuff like this. And you're gonna see a lot more tutorials that's gonna hopefully help out a lot of new people to crafting and a lot of people who want to do different things. So I'm excited. Really believe it was the substrate. Yeah, most likely. Most likely. We know it wasn't the paper. Probably hadn't had any other issues with your heat press. So yeah, most likely. Thanks for the likes. I appreciate it. Yeah, you definitely want to. That paper's bad. I'm telling you. It is bad. It is bad. So here we go. This is the other side. That's the other side. And don't worry about these marks right here. That's tape marks. That's on the inside. I'm sorry. That's on the inside. So don't worry about that. And I mean, your hood is going to be out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn this around inside out because I'm not done. I'm probably over halfway done. I think I got 3 more presses to do. I got to do my pocket logo, and I have to do the one on the back. And then I'm going to have to do the same thing over and over again with my wife because she's going to see mine. She's going to be like, hey, you know better, right? So I'll probably do my strings later on because I don't want them to be white. I think it'll stick out if I did my strings. But that's what you got, okay? And remember, these are our brand colors. You too, Stats. Thanks. I appreciate you. We don't need this, so we're not going to recycle this. We're going to recycle this in the garbage can is what we're going to do. One other thing I want to remind you all of, if you're just jumping on and you're new to sublimation, you have to protect your substrate at all costs. I don't know what you were doing on your heat press previous to doing this project. So when you see me using butcher paper, then that's because I want to protect my substrate. Now you know I just pressed this onto here. Every time heat is used, it can reactivate the ink in whatever you're using. So I'm gonna take some paper, place it over here. Make sure nothing's on it. So I want this to kind of come out clean. And something's on this. So I'm not using this part. I'm not using it at all, man. Classic bad choices, y'all. So I'm protecting my hoodie. I'm protecting my hoodie so it does not get damaged. All right. Now this is going to be a little tricky. I'm doing a pocket. I'm going to do a pocket logo. So before I do this time, and I usually don't do this, but this time I'm going to actually position my hoodie. I'm going to use my t-shirt tool. My I call it, I'm sure it has a name, I call it my transfer positioning tool. I just like to make up stuff. Gonna be using this buddy right here, okay? Gonna be using this buddy right here. Okay? So now, the way you use this, the way you're using this, and I'm going to show you, because I can't push you down anymore. It's going to be to the base of the neck, the base of the collar, okay? You want to butt that up to the base of the collar. So I'm going to butt this up to the base. Now this is a hoodie. It's a little different. I want to butt it up to the base, okay? Now it's not a drop in the neckline. So you're really going to have to eye this. Making sure everything is about centered as possible. I use the seams of the sleeves as well. So I use the seams of the sleeves to put this on here as well. And usually I'm on a table. So that means I use the corners of the table as well to make sure everything is straight. That's just a couple of key things to give you an idea of how this thing works. This is our logo, all right? This is about a 5.5 inch or so logo. I'm going to pinch the middle because I do have a center point, and there's a line on the left side that says left chest. That's where that logo will go, on the left side. I'm lining it up with this line, okay? Lining up with this line. Still, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? And then, once I am there and comfortable, I usually don't do this, but I don't want to mess my hoodie up. I'm going to tape this sucker. Now, if you're new, tape it. Don't be cheap. Don't be lazy. Tape it. You can remove this out of the way. I would rather need to buy more heat tape. I mean, what would you rather buy? More heat tape or another hoodie? Them's facts, right? Which would you rather buy? Another roll of heat tape or another hoodie? So now, remember, I'm on the 15 by 15. And I have to figure out how I'm going to get this hoodie on here without messing the bottom part up and bunching it all up. I can't have this part on because I sublimated it already. So I got to figure out how I'm going to do this. Any suggestions? Any suggestions, y'all, as how I should put this on here? Anybody? I'm going to read the comments for a minute. Taking a little break. Side. Okay. Since it's just you and me, I'll go with it. So I got to make sure I got room on the side, though, right? I got to make sure I have room on the side. So because it's on the left chest, I'm going to make sure this is positioned back this way. So I'm going to put it hood to the head, right side facing me, left chest going in. Y'all with me? Are y'all with me? I'm going to pull this up just to give me a little bit more space. Making sure that I'm careful with my tape job I got to make sure the arm of the hoodie is out of the way. But now I have another problem. What did I always say, y'all? What have I been saying the whole time? Anybody? What have I been saying the whole time? You got to protect your substrate. I've been doing a lot of work on this 15 by 15. Right? I've been doing a lot of work on this 15 by 15. And I would be perturbed if I've done all this pressing and then finally when I press it like this, I got a little bit of transfer somewhere on my heat press. So you always want to protect your heat press. So what I'm going to do is, not the heat press, your substrate. So I got my hood hanging off, and I also have this seam hanging off. So I'm going to take this butcher paper, and once again, if you're just coming on, I'm not worried about the sublimation transfer because ours doesn't bleed. I'm protecting my hoodie. So the hoodie has to be flat. If it's not flat, it won't press evenly. And this is a test to see right now if your heat press is distributing even pressure. A lot of y'all are getting like sideways or warped results because your heat press is not distributing even pressure. And you'll find that out as your heat press gets older, of the elements inside the top is not heating up evenly all the way, and that's the issue. Just jumping on, we're sublimating at 385 for 55 seconds using the blank spot sublimation paper. If you're just jumping on and you haven't done so, make sure you drop that city and state. Double tap that screen on whatever platform you're doing. However you can like it. However you can share it. My name is Eric, coming out of Columbia, just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And this is the Blank Spot Sublimation Blank Supply Warehouse. Now, I'm going to share this with y'all. Our paper doesn't bleed. There's no ink on there. No ink on there. I didn't do that because the paper was going to bleed. I did that because I didn't know what I had on the top. Another thing I failed to do, and I told y'all in the beginning, I failed to lint roll. I'm going to see if I can get some of this off because it's still hot. But I failed to lint roll. Also, I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you. This is hot. And I have a little line around there. But if I lint roll this right now, that line will come out. That pressing mark will come out. So it's not too bad. I had a little lint on there. It's not too bad. But I will make sure I lint roll it on the back. So that's something that you can do in the beginning. Roll your whole substrate, especially if you're going front and back. Okay? More Oklahoma. Houston, Tejas. All right? San Antonio. Thank you. I appreciate it, Lo. Now, like I told y'all before, this hoodie was damaged. I don't feel comfortable selling this hoodie because it has spots in it. Sometimes it comes from the vendor like that. Once it comes from the vendor like that, there's nothing that we can do. We have to suck it up, Buttercup. I can take something and put it right there. I can, press over it. But once it comes from the vendor like that, we're done. That's why when you hear a lot of people asking, well, what's your vendor? Who you use? And this, that, and the other, and yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what? If you're not willing to take this risk that 10% of your inventory could possibly come damaged, you may not be ready to start dealing with vendors like that. Albuquerque, that's what's up. Well, appreciate you. So that's something to think about. As business owners, we take risks. We accept risks. And if you're not willing to accept the risk of your inventory coming in jacked up, I remember we had some glasses. Some glasses that came in, some 25-ounce glasses that came in, frosted glasses. They came in, I'm talking about, we had 100, because we did a minimum of 100 just to try them out. And 10 of them, literally 10 of them came in broken. And I was 38 hot. And the thing that they were able to do for us, the only thing that they were willing to do for us was they were able to give us a credit. Okay? King Street. Is that King Street, South Carolina? Like I'm supposed to know that, huh? I like how the ink came out. Absolutely. So this is our paper. King Street, South Carolina. That's what's up. I know where that's at. We used to live in Sumter. Brooklyn, okay. Did you have a question on Raul? Is that what you trying to come on, or were you trying to come on? Y'all drop y'all questions in the comments. I'm gonna do my best to address them. I'm looking at all the platforms. Gonna be changing your sublimation paper? Well, come on down. I'm just basically getting the lint, the loose lint off of the back because I'm getting ready to press the back. If you just jumping on and you didn't know what I'm doing, I'm making a marketing hoodie. I'm making a marketing hoodie. Okay, I got you. Making a marketing hoodie, y'all. Now, my wife showed me how to do this, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I got the best of both worlds. I got the best wife out there. I know somebody else, some other guy gonna say the same thing. My wife is smart. She's beautiful. She's hardworking. And you know what? She knows how to craft. So I had no intention on learning how to do any of this stuff. And we started this business. And I was just saying, hey, you know what? I'm just gonna pick up the heavy stuff. I'll, do stuff here and there. And then things changed. And then it came to a point to where I had to learn how to do it because it was getting to be too much on her. Bottom line is, she taught me a lot of this stuff. And then a lot of it I actually learned from her teachings. So I give you this, y'all. Information, shared information is supposed to lead you to do your research. Research is going to help you to become educated and understand how to use the information that you have. Please, let's make it normal. Let's normalize to start doing research and stop sitting on our hind parts and asking people for all the answers and start doing your research and just asking people, hey, you know what? I did some research. I looked this up and I just want to get an idea. Is this right? Goes a lot better, I promise you. Great billboard hoodie. Put your QR code on the back with your business name. Yes and no. I don't know if you was on earlier, Davon, but I got something for you. I'm going to show you. Okay? But that's it. Yes, we are in Casey, just across the bridge. Casey. So now, y'all know I pressed on the front. That's my pocket logo. I'm still learning, y'all. This is the hood. What's good? And this is the front pocket. So, here's the thing about sublimation. Once I put this back on this press, the ink will activate again. Y'all remember Wonder Powers Activate? I'm telling my age, right? That was a cartoon. Once that happens, we'll run on over there. I appreciate it. Now remember, we're not an in-store shopping facility, but you can order online and you can pick up in store, okay? You still can order online and you can pick up in store. Now, once I put this hoodie back on this press, that ink is going to heat up at 385 degrees and it's going to activate again. Now, I'm not worried about it bleeding through for two reasons. One, this hoodie is thick. Two, our ink is tight. I ain't worried about that. But what I am concerned about is making sure that I have this down here, because when it does activate again, if nothing is here and it just touches the rubber, the ink touches the rubber, and the next time I sublimate, what's going to happen is it's going to get on the back of my substrate. I know it's a lot of stuff to contend with and a lot of stuff to consider and think about, but that's what sublimation is, and that's probably why a lot of people are not wanting to do sublimation. But once you make a couple of mistakes and you get in the head a couple of times and you get on the behind a couple of times, you'll get it. You'll get it. All right, so remember, I'm doing the back, but I don't want to mess up my hoodie. I usually say I'm just going to do it, but that's a lie. So let's go ahead and get this thing in here. Tilt this thing so y'all can see. I want everybody to get the best view that they can get. Remember, we have tutorials, or we're starting to build more tutorials on our courses site, so you guys can get access to that. We got a couple of free ones that we're gonna have available. One is free right now. It's available. I know everybody like free. Type a number 2 in the comments if you like free. Make sure if you have not subscribed to our email list. Make sure if you have not subscribed to our email list, and my wife, she just typed it in there again. If you have not subscribed to our email list, make sure you do that, and you will be notified when we have specials, deals, sales, Black Friday. You'll be the first to know. And as always, if you don't want to be a part of the marketing, just opt out. But imagine being a part of an elaborate organization that helps you to grow your skills and your talent. So I'm putting this on the back, y'all. This is what's going on the back. And below that, I'm going to put my QR code to the link tree. So everybody like free. Now, normally from the neckline, we would drop this thing 7 inches from the top. From the top of the shirt. Normally it'd be 7 inches. But like Davon said, I got a billboard. So I can't do that. I got to push it up. Because these are social media icons, people are going to know what they are. Okay? They're going to know what they are. So I am using, to center this, I am using the shoulder blades of the hoodie. Okay? That's what I'm using, the shoulder blades of the hoodie. And I don't know. I gotta leave enough room for my QR code. So theoretically, I should have these both on here just to kind of measure. All right. And I'm glad I did that because I barely got enough, which means I need to push the icons up some. So I made this kind of too big, but we're gonna work with it. All right. Y'all think it's gonna work? What y'all think? Y'all think it's gonna work? My wife said that a special is coming tomorrow. So you need to make sure you sign up for the email marketing today. She's gonna introduce a special. Question, do you offer print on demand? If not, what is the MOQ for screen printing? Print on demand. Baby, can you answer that one? If you're still on there? Make sure y'all sign up for the email marketing because she's got something hot coming out tomorrow. And that's a great question, which will probably be better answered if you email us. I guess I should have said that. That can be better answered if you email us. So if you can take some time and go to the link tree, find our email, or not even the link tree, go to our profile, find our email, and you can pose that question, okay? Making sure I take this down pretty well, so it doesn't shift on me. If you are a tape hoarder, you ain't trying to do this. I'm telling y'all, man. Once again, I'm faced with a dilemma. I can't put this on here straight up because of the hood, right? So we already know we did it before, so we already know what's going to have to happen. It's going to have to hang off. So I take this and I hold this in place as much as I can. I got to get this sleeve under here. I got to get all that pushed up. The excess is going back here. I want to make sure that my hood is hanging off. Because if my hood is not hanging off, what's going to happen is it's not going to have an even press. And I'm going to be kind of upset because I've been working pretty hard. Which it may be a little uneven. But that's okay. But as long as it's not like very noticeable, I got an issue with that. If when you move your hoodie, if your transfer shifts, or if not shifts, but if your tape kind of crinkles, take some time and straighten that tape out. Now, I'm gonna do something. Once again, I gotta protect my my hood. I'm not protecting the press. I'm protecting my hood away from the press all down here. And I'm going to give it a little bit more pressure. Just a little bit more. I'm most likely going to have a line in this, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to see if I can get it out with my my lint roller. Questions, comments. It's great when you got a moderator. Print a smaller QR code and print several smaller QR codes to under the icons. Well, I could print a smaller QR code, yes, but I have a link tree, so that it makes no sense to me. It may make sense to you, but it makes no sense to me to have several QR codes when I have a link tree, and the link tree is going to be for my website. Really, I don't really care if people follow me on social media. I want people to get to the website. But yes, I should have probably made this a little bit smaller, probably about 8 inches. But I wanted people to be able to see me from a distance. But the whole purpose for the link tree, and I'm sure you know this, the whole purpose for the link tree is so you can put multiple links under one platform. And I didn't want to do a link to my TikTok, a link to my Facebook, a link to my... I didn't want to do that. But that is an option. Because everybody may not have... Everybody may not have all of these platforms. So that is an option. That is an option. And I wanted it to look a little, I know it's large, and it's supposed to be large. I wanted it to look a little bit cleaner, so I didn't want all those different things on the back either. But that's an option though, y'all. So if you're not, I'm talking to graphics on TikTok. Graphics was saying I could have printed the icon smaller, and I could have put a specific link for each icon. That's an option, especially if you only have one. But because we have a website, guys, and we have other things on our website, we're featuring our paper, we're featuring our ink, we're featuring our classes, we're featuring all these different things, taking you straight to the link tree. And if you're looking for a one-on-one or to help you build your Shopify, you can find all that stuff under there. That's why I went that route. Sometimes Coretta, sometimes it does. A lot of times it does. I usually don't press that heavy. Once again, I ain't that pressed about it. I ain't that hard pressed about it. Sometimes it does, but this is a thicker polyester, and it may not. The only thing I don't like about the polyester, the thick polyester fabrics, is that it will have a line, even in a crease in the sleeve. I hate doing the sleeves, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that. This is what I got, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. We've been on here for a little while, about an hour and a half. I'm just about done. I've just been taking my time. Now here's gonna be the tricky part. This is the tricky part right here. One, I don't care what I don't see on here. I'm taking this and I'm throwing it away because I had my pocket logo there. So I'm going to take that off. We'll get some more butcher paper. Because I've come really far right now. My wife is probably like, he ain't messed that thing up yet, because I'll get impatient and I'll roll with it. She already knows. I'm ready to get offline right now. So she already knows, man, I got stuff to do. I gotta go. But I haven't messed it up, so I don't want to. So here's the ink release. This is the original one, so you guys can see the color. This is the original one. And here's the ink release. That's what you get when you work with the blank spot. Looks good, nice, appreciate it. Have you tried putting a plaid in the inside of the hood to stop pressing line? A pad? Yeah, I have. That's not, the pressing line came because I put a lot of pressure on it this time. I purposely did that. I usually don't get lines. I usually don't get press marks. But yeah, that's a good idea though. Pads will help, but you still got to be mindful of the line is not coming from the heat press. The line is coming from the transfer being cut out. Not to insult anybody's intelligence, but that's where that line's coming from. So now I'm gonna have to put a pad under this. Why am I gonna have to put a pad under this? Because of this, okay? So I'm gonna have to have some extra pressure. I'm gonna have to put a pad on underneath here to make sure I got enough pressure to press up and down at the same time. You feel me? So, yeah. And that's why I'm catching it. I'm catching the bleed right now because it's gonna reactivate, right? So I'm gonna get me another pad, square pad. A square enough pad. That's too much. Well, you know what? It's not too much. If I hang it like this, yeah, I'm all right. And this is the great thing about this. I'm going to take this, making sure that the back of the hoodie, the bottom, is hanging off the back. Now, when you do this, you're going to feel the pocket. You're going to feel the pocket. Hopefully at this point, hopefully you have sublimated your image straight. Hopefully you sublimated your image straight. If you have not, everything's going to be crooked. I'm going to read this comment. Yeah, I'm not going to read that one, Corella. But you're right. I agree 150%. I'm going to say that one. I'm going to leave that one for Facebook. I'll leave that one on Facebook. But you're absolutely right. Because that'll be a whole conversation. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. If that's a pull. No, this is not a pull out. This is not a pullout. My pullout's over here on the 16 by 24. But the reason why I'm using, and just so you guys know, we do have a 16 by 24 pullout. The reason why I'm actually doing this on the 15 by 15 is because a lot of people that we attract are new crafters, and as you already know, when you're just getting started, you may not have the budget to buy the big and the more. I don't even want to say the more expensive things, but the more comfortable items, right? A swing away, a pull out, that's going to be a lot more comfortable. And just because we attract a lot of people who are new to crafting, I've been hanging on this 15 by 15, because that's what people are using. So I want to be able to relate to people. I want people to be able to relate to me. So that's why I'm doing this. Other than that, I'll be over there, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm doing it like this. But I'm telling you, man, I'm being humbled right now. I promise you, I am being humbled right now to see what the average person that is just trying to make some t-shirts for their family, or you may be trying to get started in business. I'm being humbled right now, y'all. So thank y'all for keeping me in my place, because we take this heat press out to our vending events, and I have my board out there, and I'm humbled out there every day, every time we go out there. So that 16 by 24 is just too heavy. Would have been nice if the image barcode you're doing now is just a little bit smaller than the ones above, unless you're trying to fill up this. I'm trying to fill up the hole. Yeah, and you got it. So Davon was on here earlier. She said billboard. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make it a billboard. I'm trying to make it ridiculously big. I've done things like this too, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know. I've done things like put designs and images on to fabrics upside down or backwards. And a lot of people really don't understand why I do it. But it's actually a conversation piece, okay? It's a conversation piece. And so, yes, I'm trying to be ridiculously big. Now, for my wife, she don't really rock like that, so I'll probably make hers a little bit smaller. But that's what I'm trying to do. I want you to see me. I want you to see me walking away. Like, I got my camera up, and I'm still got the, that's what I'm looking at. Let me see. Just wanted to make stuff on my own. A lot of things don't know how. Well, that's what we're here. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're here for. So this is a link tree. And if you see this, it's got a little trunk on it. So you want to make sure, just for aesthetics, that you got this right side up, okay? The correct way. It's orientated the correct way. Here's another part. You want to make sure. So now I'm going to have to keep this on here. I'm going to have to keep that rim on there. And I still should have enough pressure to do this. Making sure that my pad is going to cover the spot where I'm going. There's one thing, that's one thing about, and you guys are giving a lot of great suggestions and recommendations, but it's one thing about a creative mind. When you have something set in your mind, and I'm sure you guys have done it too, when you have something set in your mind, how you want to see things come out, you got your mind made up. But listen, all the things that you guys are saying are absolutely right. I could have adjusted some of the icons. I could have made things smaller. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to make literally make a billboard. Okay? I literally wanted to make a billboard. Yes, I did lint roll the bottom? No, I didn't. Thank you. Because it is going to get hit. But I lint rolled all of this though. But it is going to get hit. Thank you, Princess. I appreciate it. Princess got my back over there. All right, I'm probably talking too much. Enough explaining. I'm just gonna eye this, y'all. I'm at the point right now. See, that's why I can't be a crafter. I can't be a crafter because I ain't got that kind of patience, man. I do not have that kind of patience. Once again, if you're just jumping on and you see me covering this, I am not covering the transfer. I'm covering the rest of my hoodie so it doesn't get in the transfer from the top of the heat press. Okay. Now it is going to be somewhat uneven, possibly, but I think we're going to be okay because it's black. Let me get some of this off of here. A little bit more. Now, don't do this. Don't do what I'm doing because it's not taped. And this is a great way to ghost, okay? And, man, we almost done. Ooh, I hope so. Because if not, it's done now, huh? I thought I had it right. If not, it's upside down. I would be so upset because I just said that. You know that? Come on, man. If I mess that one up, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to wear it. I'm going to have to wear it. I'm going to have to wear it. I did take it off. Oh my goodness. Now you got me worried, man. If I don't show y'all, that means that it's upside down. Dang. And I was just doing so well. I wanted some attention. I'm gonna let it stay a little while longer to make sure I can get as much transfer, just in case I did have an uneven press. And I'll do it like this, y'all. Okay, this is what we got. Turn you over here to Instagram so y'all can see. This is what we got. Mess my hair up putting this on. Can y'all see the pocket? The pocket logo. The hood. It's my luck, right? Let's call the place by my help. Google. And y'all saw me when I turned around. Do I need to step out some? Do I need to step out some, y'all? Can y'all see this? Show you first, Instagram, Facebook and YouTube, and TikTok. And that's it. That's it. You just witnessed a live. It shouldn't have taken an hour and a half, but I was going through step by step. You just witnessed a live, I guess, somewhat tutorial on the inside of the hood and the pocket. That's something really, really cool. I think if you can kind of master the inside of the hood and the pocket, I think you'll be cool, and you can actually make some money doing this, man. Because we did a couple of buffalo plaid ones. What did I do? I did this pattern right here. This is actually the pattern that I did for the demo, for the tutorial, right? Actually did that one for the tutorial. You'll see that when you purchase that tutorial. And then I did this. Of course, I didn't get all of that one, so you got to be careful here. And these were all hoodies that were damaged, guys. These are all hoodies that were damaged, so I'm not wasting anything. We got to write them off anyway because we couldn't sell them. All demos. And then I did one. Y'all see this one, right? I did this one as well. Sleeves, and I put a chenille patch on there. So, yeah. So, thank y'all for jumping on. I appreciate it. I know y'all could have been anywhere else. Hopefully I didn't just waste your time. Hope you got some value out of what happened today, what you saw today. Make sure, if you want to support us, make sure you follow us on our social media platforms, okay? Subscribe to our YouTube. It is the blank spot. The blank spot for YouTube. Subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. Follow us on our Facebook, and also subscribe, I guess. Well, yeah, follow us on our Facebook and like it. That's going to help us out. And we do it. We are able to get stars, so you can actually send us some stars on Facebook if you want. You know, I don't know exactly how that works, but I guess it's like gifting, you know, for us giving the content. What else? TikTok. If you're on TikTok, thanks for the gifts. I appreciate it. If you're on TikTok and you're able to do so, and we're giving this content, shoot us some gifts, right? You may not be able to shop with us, and I get it, but shoot us some gifts. That helps us to be motivated to want to give more information and more content. If you can purchase from us, that works as well. We love doing business with you. And if you're on Instagram, do the same thing. Make sure you follow us on our Instagram. Everything, you can find us if you type in the blanks spot. Remember, blanks is plural. And I will be back. Like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. I'll see everybody at the top because there's too many people struggling at the bottom. Don't forget, make sure you subscribe to our email marketing. My wife is going to send out an email tomorrow for an amazing sale that's going to take place tomorrow on some of our newer products. So you guys take care, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all been great. Thanks.